Oh, there's this boy that I know.
One group. 5 distinct talents.
I rise up like a giant. Hold my hand a little higher.
Now, imagine.
You got me calling my promise screaming.
Each of them goes solo. Before I-dle even existed, one trainee had already figured something out. On the 5th of November 2017, Soyeon released Jelly, her first solo track. It was simple, bold, and fully hers. Hip-hop, sharp delivery, and lyrics she wrote herself. Even from the beginning, she was already involved in the creative process. And yes, that is rare in K-pop. Later that year, she released I-dle Song. She wrote and composed it, and even helped shape the arrangement. Years later, she shared that the name I-dle first came to her while working on this song.
Ain't nobody do it like me.
She had also competed on Unpretty Rap Star 3, writing her own verses for each round. The show pushed her to adapt quickly and perform under pressure. By the time I-dle debuted in 2018, Soyeon already understood her strength: creative control. 3 years passed. The group released hit after hit and built a name for bold concepts and self-production. Then, on the 5th of July 2021, Soyeon returned to solo work with her first Minnie album, Windy. The title track, Beam Beam, felt playful and unexpected. Bright, a little chaotic, but very intentional. It was different from I-dle's darker era at the time. Here, Soyeon let herself have fun. She wrote and composed the track, working with producers Pop Time and Kako to shape a sound that felt lighter but still confident. The Windy concept introduced a new side of her, a carefree character in her 20s, loving fast food and living freely. It felt personal but also well thought out. After years of leading I-dle, she knew exactly how to build a character and make it believable. The EP also included featuring BB and Lee Youngji, 3 of the most talked about female rappers of their generation on one track. The song plays with the idea of what a bad woman is supposed to look like in the industry. Instead of fitting into that image, they twist it, mock it, and own it. Each verse feels confident but relaxed. No one trying to dominate, just 3 strong voices sharing space naturally. It felt like collaboration done right. Another track on the EP, Quit, showed a different side. A breakup song, but not dramatic. The lyrics feel straightforward, almost blunt. She talks about walking away without begging or over-explaining. There is no big performance moment attached to it, just the writing carrying the emotion. And that makes it hit in a quieter way. And while she was building her world, Yuqi had already started building hers too. May 13th, 2021. Yuqi released her debut single album, A Page, while I-dle was on temporary hiatus following the controversy around former member Soojin. At the time, Yuqi had been promoting in China. This solo felt like a way to keep moving forward. The album opened with a personal track about growing stronger through pressure. The lyrics reflected her move from China to Korea and the challenges that came with it. She worked on the melody herself, making sure the song carried her own experience. Then came loud, confident. Pop rock with heavy bass, far from I-dle's usual sound. Her deep voice carried the entire track. It fit her naturally. The concept leaned into freedom and risk, like she was ready to step out on her own. The track gained attention internationally, and for many listeners, it was the first time hearing her voice take the lead from start to finish. Soyeon had already shown that having your own style matters. Now Yuqi was proving that each member could stand alone too, and she would not be the last to try. The 27th of April 2022, Miyeon stepped forward with Drive. The song started soft, pop rock with nostalgic melodies and clear vocals. Miyeon had spent years as I-dle's main vocalist, often balancing out the group's stronger concepts. Drive finally gave her room to stand at the center. Her debut EP, My, highlighted her tone and the kind of artist she naturally is. The sound felt light and dreamy, very different from the intense image I-dle had built. The B-sides showed that she could carry a full project on her own. She even wrote the lyrics for Rain, adding her own touch to the EP. For fans used to hearing her inside group choruses, this felt new. She let her voice flow more freely. Even simple lines sounded good in her voice. The music video followed the same direction. Bright colors, calm scenes, and a gentle mood that matched the song. Drive worked because it stayed true to her strengths. She did not try to be louder or sharper. She simply leaned into what suited her best. 2023 felt different. The solos were no longer small side projects. They started to feel more complete and intentional. In February, Minnie collaborated with Anne-Marie on Expectations. It was a simple but meaningful moment. She sounded completely natural next to Anne-Marie, proving her voice fits anywhere. On the 8th of November 2023, Soojin returned with She had left I-dle in 2021. Many wondered what she would do next, and this moment showed it clearly. The title means Miss or Young Lady in Korean. The song blended retro pop with modern production while adding traditional Korean instruments. Even the choreography drew from traditional dance, reworked in her own way. It felt thoughtful, controlled, and focused. Because of everything that happened before, the lyrics carried extra weight. The comeback did not rely on noise or heavy promotion. It relied on her alone, and the fans who stayed. 2 weeks later, on November 16, Soyeon joined Winter from aespa and Rizz from I for Nobody. A rare collaboration between members of 3 major fourth-generation groups. Different styles, one track. It felt like a rare moment. Then, in December, Yuqi teamed up with Alan Walker and Jake for Fire, an EDM-based track that expanded her reach internationally. 2024 did not slow down. On the 23rd of April 2024, Yuqi released her first mini-album, Yuqi 1. 2 years after Bonnie and Clyde, she returned with a full project.
She's certified freak.
The title track, Freak, felt more confident and complete. But the real strength of the album was its range. Pop songs, R&B moments, dance tracks, different styles, but still clearly hers. Yuqi handled the writing and production across the album and even collaborated with international producers. The results were strong. Yuqi 1 sold over 550,000 copies in its first week, setting a new record for a female soloist at the time. It showed that she was not just a member branching out. She had built a solid solo fan base of her own. A month later, on the 23rd of May 2024, Soojin returned with her second EP, Rizz. This time, she sounded more sure of herself. The title track, Mona Lisa, leaned into sleek pop with light jazz touches. The performance stood out again. Controlled movements, clear lines, nothing overdone. By her second release, it was obvious she understood what suited her and stayed consistent with it. That same year, Miyeon showed another side during the I-dle World Tour. She performed Sky Walking, a self-composed song that was later officially released in August 2025. It marked her first clear step into composing her own music. In September 2024, Soyeon produced for the band QWER. The track became a hit and showed that her production skills were not limited to her own projects. She was now creating songs for other artists too.
Are you lazy?
No, I'm just perfect.
2025 kept the pace going. On the 21st of January 2025, Minnie released her first solo EP. She became the fourth member to debut solo. Fans had been waiting, and she came prepared.
You think you know me, I'm her.
The EP centered around showing different sides of herself. As she shared, she wanted to present every version of who she is. She was involved in writing and composing all 7 tracks, making the project feel personal from start to finish. The title track, Her, felt confident but not loud about it. Blind Eyes Red leaned into her softer R&B side. Drive You Crazy brought Yuqi in, letting their chemistry play out in a different setting. And Obsession, featuring 10 of Wavy, added a smooth back and forth that fans had been curious to see. Back in Thailand, the response was strong. Minnie has always been open about where she comes from, and this release felt personal for fans there. It showed she could carry a full project without leaning on the group name. In March 2025, Yuqi returned again with a bright and playful digital single. Then in September, she returned with the message leaned into drive and confidence, fitting naturally with her tone. 2 solo releases in 1 year. She stayed active and visible. On the 3rd of November 2025, Miyeon returned with her second mini-album, My Lover. The title track, Say My Name, was gorgeous. It was soft and soothing, fitting her voice comfortably. But Reino, released earlier as a pre-release, showed something different. Featuring Cold, the song leaned darker and moodier than her earlier work. It felt more stripped back and serious, nothing like the bright image people were used to from her. Across the album, she focused on love from different angles. This time, she sounded more sure of herself, not just vocally, but in how she chose her songs. Shuhua had not released a full solo project yet, but 2025 still marked a moment for her. She collaborated with Minnie on Burn Me Into the Light for the drama The Resurrected, showing more stability and confidence in her vocals. She also received her first lyric credit on If You Want from the We Are EP. It was a small step, but an important one. For the first time, her name appeared in the writing credits. It felt like the beginning of something. By early 2026, their solo work no longer felt separate from the group. It stood just as strong. What started with Soyeon building from scratch grew into something bigger. Minnie writing full projects, Yuqi breaking sales records, Miyeon stepping into composing, Shuhua entering the credits. Even Soojin, independently, proving she could stand on her own. Each solo made one thing clear. They are not just members of a group, they are creators. And that is why their solo songs feel different. Not because they are side projects, but because they sound like them. I-dle dared to be bold. Will you?